the plan, mate? Do
Some
we
wiki
start with
lies.
How shit that fucking poor excuse of an album was, or what?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It wasn't. I reckon there was a couple of songs that were okay.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Welcome to the ETI podcast. I'm John. This is Jane.
G'day.
G'day.
This is episode 11.
Fuck already.
Yeah, man. With Guy last week was 10.
Yeah, episode 10.
The Burger Freak.
Can't get enough them burgers.
They're pretty good.
We just had another burger tonight before we started this, so I'm feeling a bit fucked now. I ate way too much. Wash it down with some cheesecake.
Phone's on
I
silent.
should fucking silent that phone too.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so
Let's get into the album. Here, Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson just released an album, yesterday? So by the time this comes out, it would have been a week ago.
Yeah.
Entitled "We Are Chaos."
It's first single.
He should have named it "We Are Piss Weak Musicians Trying to Still Make a Living" because that was fucking shit.
You mentioned the last podcast that you saw or listened to his new single, "We Are Chaos."
That was that acoustic thing, track 2.
Yeah, it was pretty horrible. And I sent you a text yesterday saying I actually listened to a few, or I skipped through the album, and it wasn't even 10 seconds of each song because I didn't allow it to get to 10 seconds of each song. It was just I skipped to the next track.
Yeah, it wasn't that flash.
Every single thing sounded the same. There wasn't a lot. There was no standout tracks. I think "We Are Chaos" was the slowest song on there.
Yeah, it had the drum beat behind, but it was all acoustic. It was very slow.
Yeah. It was a very slow song, but the whole album had that tone. It wasn't. You can definitely tell he's getting old with age. He's not doing the same music that he used to. There's no shock value to Marilyn Manson anymore.
Oh, I've closed the camera up now, so I can't see us. Fucking will be right.
Can you not open it back up?
Yeah, but then it freezes and fucks up because, GoPro is the best shit ever. But, so overall as a kind of, we won't say review because it's definitely not a review.
It's not a
just
review.
Our basic opinion on hearing it once. It could grow on me if I listen to it more, but honestly, after hearing that, I don't want to listen to it again.
A couple of tracks at the start.
Something about painting you in love or something.
You said "Paint You With My Love."
That one was okay.
You asked what that track was, and I told you, and you said, "Oh, that was doable." But I think by the time the opening track, "Red, Black and Blue," by the time that actually gets into it, because it's 3 seconds over 5 minutes, it's a long song. By the time that got into it, I was actually not too. I didn't hate it. It wasn't too bad. I was pretty happy that was a song. But then second was the "We Are Chaos" acoustic, and that was just downhill.
That was shit out.
I think "Don't Chase the Dead" is memorable because that's the first song after the acoustic song. But
well, that sort of
I think
life in a sense.
1, 3, and 4 tracks. So "Red, Black and Blue," "Don't Chase the Dead," "Paint You With My Love."
What are you talking about there? Let's fucking paint you with my love.
Who knows? Possibly.
But I mean,
that was listenable, but then everything else was very forgettable. I think we just reverted to talking shit and playing on our phones for the rest of the album. And it's a 42-minute album, so we could have fit 2 Static X albums in that, and had more to talk about.
And they would have been good.
Yeah, that would have been a good fucking 40 minutes.
But I mean, like you said, you know he's getting old, but he doesn't have the energy he used to have, which that comes with age. That comes with, I suppose, whatever drugs he's on this week, or if he's not on drugs anymore, or whatever he's. I honestly haven't kept up with him for a long time.
No one has the energy they had when they were in their 20s and their 30s. When they're, how old is he? He'd have to be in his 50s.
Mate, then you haven't seen Ozzy Osbourne on stage.
No, but it's called TRT. Like, some people should just be on some hormone replacement, make them. It's just a little bit of steroids that make them feel like they're in their 20s or their early 30s and all that sort of stuff. It sort of tops you up to where you should be at a certain age point.
I suppose that's what he gets.
He's 51, so
cocaine.
Yeah, well, shit. Who knows? I mean, he's definitely not in shape anymore. The photo on the Wikipedia page, that can't be a lie, obviously, because it's a photo of him. He looks a bit beefy. He's not as skinny as what he used to be. So all that sort of stuff, like I know, plays a huge role in your energy levels. So if he's carrying around that much extra weight and he's not used to it, there's no way he's getting that much energy out of himself for what he used to get.
But well, if we go back to what he used to get, I mean, first album, American Portrait of American Family. That was a good album. It was very all over the place, but it was a very good album. And then he kicks into Smells Like Children, was it?
Yeah, Smells Like Children. That's when Twiggy joined the club.
That was another good album. And then Antichrist, your favourite album of his.
A lot of people's favourite albums.
And that, I don't know if you noticed that there was a major jump between the first two albums up to Antichrist. Just like then, from Antichrist to Mechanical Animals, there was a jump again.
Yeah, it's a different tone again.
To Hollywood, then another jump to fucking Golden Age Grotesque.
Yeah.
And then I suppose he had a break or whatever you want to call it for a while. Pretty much kicked out the rest of the band. And I honestly haven't listened to a lot of his stuff since then. I've listened to all the new albums that have come out since Golden Age at least once. And they're very much like that album, We Are Chaos. They're very unmemorable.
I think Hollywood was the last album with Gingerfish, was it?
No,
he was still on. He was on Golden Age Grotesque, but John 5. So it was really just the bass player on Golden Age Grotesque. But then was it the album after that they
quick cramp?
The album after that they got pretty much a brand new band, was it?
Well, because they had when Twiggy went, then they replaced him with Tim Skold, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then I think after he got rid of John 5 after Golden Age, then I'm pretty sure he took over guitar duties. Because I remember seeing him live and he was playing guitar. And that's one thing I honestly wish I had have seen him in the sort of God's Guns and Government tour era.
Yeah.
Fucking best lineup, in my opinion, of Manson's bands. And the best music they were creating at the time. Put on live shows. I don't know if you've seen the DVD.
Yeah, I have. One of my mates had it years ago. I borrowed it. And
that's one that even now I still go back to and watch every now and again. Because it's a fucking great DVD, you know. And I've seen him, I want to say 3 times live. Pretty sure it was 3 times. And unfortunately, he just, same thing with this album, the energy level wasn't there. He just seemed to get worse and worse every time he came over.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like we talked about before with the whole, you know, by the time they get to Australia, they're pretty fucking knackered or whatever. But it's just, I don't know, maybe the drugs hit him different in Australia.
You know, it was either the drugs or a bottle that hit him in the head. Yeah. Remember when that happened? He's like, fuck Western Australia, man. I've never seen him live. There's a lot of bands I'd love to see I've never seen, and I probably don't want to see a lot of bands that I haven't seen because they're not what they used to be anymore. So I don't think the live show is going to be that good. But after Golden Age of Grotesque, he had like his best.
Drink Me, was it?
Since he had his best of album, it was like a filler.
And then because he had a couple extra songs on that.
He had Personal Jesus and a few other tracks.
Which was what? Personal Jesus, Johnny Cash, wasn't it? It was a cover of some sort.
Yeah, it was a cover. So I don't mind it. It's good. But then, like, just looking at the personnel, like, not the track listing, but the people who actually were on the album was that Tim Skold and Marilyn Manson. So Marilyn Manson was percussion, lyrics, vocals, composer, producer, photography, art direction, design. And then Tim Skold was guitars, bass, keyboard, general engineering, music, programming, producer, composer.
I mean, I suppose it gets to that point too where around that time, I suppose, technology got a lot better and they could start doing the whole let's do it ourselves type thing. But
2007. Yeah, a lot of people were, DIY musicians.
Fuck, I feel fucked after that burger, mate.
I
feel like I'd go to sleep. I ate way too much. A few more jacks, I'll be right.
A few more jacks. No, it wasn't a very memorable album. It wasn't his best work. But just, I remember when I listened to the first, like, I suppose for a lot of people my age, one of the first albums of his, I don't know about you because you're not my age, you're younger.
By what, 1 year?
1 year. Was Antichrist Superstar. And that was, remember when I said everyone fucking picked on me and hated me at school for being, like, the first Slipknot fan in town. Yeah. And everyone just gave me shit for it. So I started giving people shit for listening to Marilyn Manson. And that was the one album that my mate always used to play. He'd be in his bedroom playing 64.
Back in the day. Not like that, mate. Like the whole thing.
Fucking
like a good old 64,
Yeah, controllers doodle. He'd be playing 64 and just he'd have Antichrist Superstar playing. And I always did like it. I just never let anyone knew that. I was always...
you couldn't after you just been like, fuck.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't. Well, he sucked his own dick. But I really liked that one song. No, I'm not going to do that. And all the school, like the discos or the dances or whatever they used to put on, the DJs would always play Beautiful People. Yeah, that one.
We used to play that too at one stage, didn't we?
I think we tried to. We just didn't.
Was that another one that our mate,
Didn't.
Mr. fucking
Mr. Old Mate didn't want to play.
Doodly Doo? No, he wanted to play it, but he couldn't play it.
Oh, he wanted to.
I think he
couldn't?
brought
Oh.
it to the thing, but then he couldn't work out how to play because he was playing bass at that stage, wasn't he? Or maybe he was playing guitar and that's why he wanted to play it.
I don't
Are we
know
talking about the same old mate?
I don't know. We've had so many old mates in our bands.
I'm talking old mate who couldn't get Dirt House right, and that's the easiest song ever. Fucking Kyle, come on.
Well, he's not going to listen to this, so you can say that. I'll put a bleep over that name.
No, don't
But-
put a bleep over. He can suck my fucking dick.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. It's not an overly difficult song to play, I didn't think. But then I think Portrait of American Family was the third album I bought. So I bought Antichrist and then I bought Mechanical Animals.
Yep.
And then listening to Antichrist Superstars and then Mechanical Animals, there's a huge
jump.
like tonal difference.
Just everything. That's what I mean. Like there was from the first two albums, has jumped to Antichrist, then jumped to Mechanical, etc. etc. Jumped every album from there.
But going from Antichrist Superstar, which is like almost hectic chaos music, because
it was all over the place.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
and that's
most
what I like
albums
about it.
flow.
Yeah,
that's why I like the album. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't my favorite album because it was just fucking all over the place. I like an album that flows.
I think that's why I liked it though, because Marilyn Manson at the time was chaos in music, and that album was fucking
Apparently
chaos.
now we are chaos.
What?
That's the name of the new album. A quick pun for you there.
I'm fucking slow today, aren't I?
That's all food, Jade. Fucking triple cheeseburger for you, mate.
Yeah, bogged my brain down. But yeah, so he was chaos in music back then, and everything that was wrong with heavy metal. And that album to me supported that.
Well, like you said at the time, he was like, "What was it? Fucking, I am the Antichrist. If I start at the bottom, I can only go up." Some shit like that.
So he ended up coming out with Mechanical Animals, which is,
it was his version of a glam rock album. Essentially, it was very glammy.
Rock is Dead.
To the point of fucking,
the whole Rock is Dead is on there. Fuck, I can't even remember the tracks. I haven't listened to that album for so long.
When Mechanical Animals came out, I didn't like it.
Yeah, Dope Show, Rock is Dead, and Don't Like the Drugs. Coma White was a song I'd never really got into. But like I've listened to the whole album numerous times when I got it, and it still wasn't for me something I was going to listen to on a daily basis or anything. I still go and listen to Antichrist Superstar now. If I'm at the gym doing whatever, or I'm going for a walk or a run, I can put that on and get through the entire album.
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, when I first heard it, I didn't like it. But then I suppose as I fucking got older or whatever, listened to it again. Yeah, I fucking love that album.
Yeah, that's probably something that I could do. Probably have another.
My favourite is still Hollywood, but my second favourite is Easy Mechanical Animals these days. If you had asked me that, fucking 10 years ago, whatever. Fuck, how long ago since?
Yeah, I always think Mechanical Animals was so fucking long ago, but then I'm like, Hollywood was right after it, and then I'm like,
yeah, because like that was his supposed trilogy. But I don't know if you've you heard the story. He reckons that it's a trilogy, but you're meant to listen to the albums backwards. So as in, start with Hollywood, then Mechanical Animals, then Antichrist.
So yeah, well, shit, we could do that one day. I'll definitely do it. I just remember that being real controversial because of the album cover. When I bought it, there was actually a blank sleeve.
Yeah, some places would refuse to sell it without an alternate. Same happened with Hollywood, because where he's up on the cross with his missing jaw and shit.
Oh, you're talking about Mechanical Animals?
Yeah.
When he was in the bodysuit and he had no nuts?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was talking about this when I bought this. It was a blank sleeve, just with Marilyn Manson and the title of the album.
Yep.
He was complete. It was like the background was still there, but he just wasn't there anymore when I picked it up.
PG fucking cover version.
Yeah, because that's the way you had to buy it, because of sensory. You couldn't.
Well, that was another thing. Like, obviously, he's in a sense, a king of controversy in the way of, all the Bible bashers wanted to get on him, trying to ban him from where he went, picketing his shows, all the rest of it. It didn't work out. If anything, it made him bigger because it brought more awareness to him.
Oh, yeah. That's like NWA when they came out with Fuck the Police, and when they were touring around. Apparently, I don't know if it actually happened in real life. I think it did, because Eazy-E was known for saying, like, the publicity was good. And when I don't know if you've seen the movie, Straight Outta Compton, when they're driving in and people got the fucking rollers out and they're rolling over the albums and the CDs and the tapes and they're crushing them. He's like, fuck it. They paid for it.
Mm.
Like, at least they bought the fucking
Fuck,
tape.
who else done that? There was someone that went ahead and burnt a shitload of someone's CDs, but they were like, "Hey, it's a good album." So it might have been Behemoth, I think, when the Satanist came out. Nurgle already pissed off all the Christians by beating cancer, because these fun-loving fucking Christians and all that are sitting there going, "We hope you fucking die, burn in hell," all the rest of it. So he beats cancer, releases the Satanist, which in my opinion is their best fucking album.
Yeah.
And then all the churches are out there buying the album, burning it, crushing it, everything else. And he's like, "That's good for me. Thanks for helping my fucking album go up the charts."
Yeah,
with
let's
album sales.
do a Satanist part 2.
Yeah,
Fuck yes.
like fuck.
Yeah. No, that's right. There's a lot of weird shit that happens in music, and people don't understand by buying it, you're actually supporting that band. I refuse to call them artists. They're a band. They're jesters. They're modern day jesters, same as actors. They're not artists. Just get that out of the way. Because
These days are all fucking, what do they call it? Social influencers, aren't they?
Yeah, social influencers, and they're all social justice warriors now. They've all got to have the right. Fucking quick topic, change the topic on that. You've just reminded me of something I read. So now they've actually for the longest time, you know, the Oscars and the Grammys, similar for music and movies, the big awards. They've the Oscars, I think, have changed their criteria now. So depending on how, like whether or not you have a black, gay, now transgender in a movie, will depend on whether or not they're going to give you an Oscar if you get nominated. Right, so you have to tick certain boxes for like the political side of it, social politics and all that sort of stuff. And that's always sort of been the case, but they now come out and said this.
Well, now with the push on social media and everything else, I suppose they have to, otherwise they get the biggest backlash. So they're just doing it.
Movies are
to save
movies.
Their own fucking asses.
Music is music. These people are not artists. They are overpaid human beings. Mm. Not necessarily musicians, because musicians lose
all over the world. They miss out on time with their family, everything else.
Yeah, as you go and film a movie, some of these people are getting paid $1 million plus to go and spend 3 months filming a movie. Do 3 months of long days, and they can take a year off. Yeah, like that's not a hard life. Get over it. You're not an artist. You're not an influencer. No one cares about your political opinion.
Yeah,
just
but then
move
you
on.
Have people like them fucking Kardashian cunts.
Yeah,
look how famous they are. What the fuck do they do? Spread their legs. What else do they fucking do?
Nothing.
I don't know. They do fuck all.
One of them married Kanye West.
How'd that work out for her? One fuckhead marrying another fuckhead.
No, I don't mind him. He's got some good ideas about him.
Is he going to be the next fucking US president, is he, mate?
No, but he's a huge Trump supporter.
Is he?
He doesn't need to be president. If Trump gets in, he doesn't need to be president. He's a massive Trump supporter. And his missus is a full-blown, I'm pretty sure she's a full-blown Democrat, which is the opposite. And he's still, and because he is who he is, he's one of those lucky few who can come out and say, I'm a conservative, I'm a Republican, and I support Donald Trump and Trump 2020. And he can wear his MAGA hat, you know what the MAGA hat is, Make America Great Again hat, and no one fucks with him. Yeah, you get people like, I don't know if you've heard of these guys, the Hodge twins. They're on YouTube.
I think you were talking about
fucking years and years and years.
Maybe a couple episodes ago where you said about they lost half.
Oh, yeah, they came out as conservative, and they're African-American. They actually got tested because they're light-skinned, they reckon. So they actually got ancestry tested and DNA tested or some shit, and it turns out they're just over 50% African, so they can claim, or African-American, so they can claim to be black. And they joke about it all the time, so it's okay for me to say that, I assume. But as soon as they came out as conservative Republicans or whatever, and that they support Trump, they lost a fucking heap of subscribers, which for them is money going out the door.
Well, exactly.
That's their income.
You lose too many subscribers, you then lose your fucking paid fucking ads and all that shit.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's just YouTube and social media censor everything anyway. Like if you put in, if we mention certain things about US politics, which we can get away with because no one's looking at us anyway on YouTube.
Well, that's the thing. Like
so if we mention Joe Biden,
we do get the views, but that's one thing I've noticed is we're getting a lot of views, but not subscribers.
Yeah.
So if you are watching this and you made it, what are we? Almost 20 minutes into us boringly talking shit because we're too fucked from that big ass feed we just had.
Yeah.
Hit subscribe. You know, it doesn't cost you anything. It's all free. It'd help us out for analytics and all that shit. But if you don't want to at the same time, that's all fucking good. You know, just Anyway, back to
that's right.
Old mate
I was
Biden.
just going to say, if you mention Joe Biden and start bagging him out, there's people out there with YouTube channels and social media that are big enough, millions of subscribers, or even hundreds of thousands of subscribers and followers, and they instantly get censored. They instantly get banned. It's crazy. But back to Manson. Back in the day when Mechanical Animals came out, Manson, and that bodysuit kind of freaked me out a little bit because I was young when that came out.
Glam rock alien dude who's come to Earth.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
Something along them lines, yeah. I think it was his. Like, a lot of that thing was his tribute to David Bowie in a way. I think he done a lot of weird shit back in the day.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
But I mean that was around that era. Like say them three albums. Let's call it his trilogy. For me, his trilogy was the best time.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I know he's brought out albums since, and like I said, I've listened to them all, but I've only listened to them maybe once or twice, and they just didn't do it for me. But it would be awesome just to go back and have another album, anything like that trilogy. I can't remember what album it was. I want to say Heaven Upside Down, but I could be wrong. I think that was the one that people were claiming he was going back to his roots, and it was like old school Manson. It might be a different album, I'm not sure. But I got excited when I heard that, and then when I put it on, I was like, the internet lied to me. This is another load of fucking shit.
I think people thought that because he's got like a cross or something upside down in his album cover of that one. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't listened to anything since Eat Me, Drink Me, 2007.
Yeah.
And I probably didn't even listen to that right away. It was probably more like 2008, 2009 that I listened to that because I'm pretty sure I was back in the Eastern States. And I haven't listened to the High and the Low. I think I've skipped through a few tracks of Born Villain because I was curious.
Or maybe it was Born Villain that they were talking about. I don't know. It was one of his like sort of later albums.
Looks like a Sinead O'Connor album cover.
Fucking hell.
And then I haven't listened to his new stuff until today when we listened to We Are Chaos, and it's just if you put it out for the sake of him just putting music out, fine. But if you put it out thinking he's going to do something and it's going to rally his fans, I don't think that's...
Yeah, but in a sense it still will, because you got to think, like, we grew up in a certain time where that was our albums, that trilogy. And then you have other younger kids that have grown up with maybe Eat Me, Drink Me was their first go at Manson. So then anything released after that, then they're his fans. Because, I mean, apart from all this fucking pandemic shit, if he done a tour, I can guarantee he sells a lot of fucking tickets, mate.
I don't know, his shows seem to be getting smaller. He's not doing big...
Yeah, but in general, like, it's
just
because we don't like the album. But it's the same with, like, I know younger people that, you know, I'll mention fucking Slipknot's fucking self-titled or Iowa or whatever else, and I'll go, oh, no, the best one was fucking All Hope Is Gone.
Yeah,
but because that was their introduction to Slipknot. Same with, I got a young mate that his first introduction to, like, more Metallica type stuff was, I think... I want to say Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Oh, no, Death Magnetic it might have been. And so he doesn't know about all the shit before that. He's just like, oh, that was a fucking awesome album. Then the next one came out, awesome album.
Yeah, but I think...
It's boring to me compared to the old shit. And maybe that's just me doing the old, you kids get off me fucking lawn type shit. But you know what I mean? Like,
I think that's perception. People hear Metallica are one of the heavy metal greats, so they just go out and buy whatever album is out and current, and that's what they know and that's what they like, and that's fair enough. And the same thing would definitely be happening with Manson. There'll be new kids now. The way society's gone, I'm sad to say, I don't think there's too many kids out there now looking for something like that.
No.
But the ones that do find it, fair enough, that's their favourite. That's that they like all the newer stuff, which is good on you, cool. But that's not paying bills. Those albums are not paying bills.
Well, honestly, no one's paying bills at the moment not being able to tour.
Oh, no, I get that. No, I get that.
There's
but
no money in album sales
I always
anymore.
thought if I was going to be a musician and be in a band and travel the world and put out albums, I'm doing it not just for the fact that I love music, but that lifestyle also has all that, that lifestyle, that career also has to support just general life when that tour's over. I don't want to go back and get a job at Big W. I don't want to go back into retail.
There's probably a shitload of fucking famous bands that still have a second job.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're probably still putting out really good music.
Yeah.
But then their niche market for their genre or for their style of music is really small, and that's just unfortunate.
Not only that, but I think we've talked about this before as well. But how things like Spotify and all that have pretty much killed record sales in general. Because we have mentioned it before about we used to get excited about going and getting that new album or whatever else, or like you said, you get your catalogue and pick it out and all that.
Pick it out.
These days you don't. You just go, what do I want to listen to today? Fucking pick up the phone. What's new?
Yeah, but I mean, and the thing that's really killing people on Spotify, Google Play Music, YouTube Music, Apple, and all that sort of stuff. It's not that the band, it's not that they don't Spotify don't pay, because they do pay, but no. For the bands to actually make their money, they need to own the rights to their music. Whereas if we're a record label, ETI Productions, and we put on our good mates Nucleus, and we own their music, and they can go out and tour, and they can make all the money they want. But as a record company, what's happening now is they also then, because the CD sales aren't there, record companies now, they want a piece of the merch, a bigger piece of the merch than what they've always had.
Because that's where the money comes from bands.
Yeah.
Merch.
So, well, I mean, they get paid. They get paid to play.
To a gig
but
and you pay what $50?
$50, or Machine Head was like $100 for a hoodie or some shit.
Yeah.
For a hoodie.
Your mate Rob Flynn.
Yeah, fuck him. I'm not a fan of that dude. But like the record companies now, they want a piece of every single thing the band has invested into.
But you got to think they're struggling too, because
they're actually
all these independent artists that are coming out releasing their own shit. But
yeah,
at the
so
same time, they're money hungry, fucking greedy pricks. These record companies.
Compared to Australia, places like America, where they actually have heavy metal radio stations. Radio stations pay per play anyway.
Yeah.
So the record companies are getting money from that. They're getting money from the tour. They're getting money from the merch. They're getting the little bit of money that comes from the record sale. They get the money from the royalties of if that track is being played in a movie.
Yeah.
Right. They get money if they're a pop band that's being played on an ad. You know, and it's not until the bands actually own their masters that they get paid for it.
I'm pretty sure Metallica own all their own masters.
No, they do. Yeah, they do.
And old mate Axl Rose, the way he fucked around the band and made them sign everything to him.
Yeah,
he would never have to tour again in his life.
Was that legit?
Yeah.
Because they're all back together now.
Yeah, well, 20 years later, they all got over it.
They all made their money back, I suppose, but...
yeah, but then you got people like Slash went off and done his own thing. He made fucking shitload.
Yeah, it's true.
Duff had his own band. Was it Matt Sorum, the drummer? He was off doing his own thing with various bands for a while. And then, pretty much Velvet Revolver. That was pretty much Guns N' Roses with different frontmen. Different singer.
Yeah.
I remember around the time when it was rumoured that Corey Taylor was going to be their next singer and all the rest of the shit.
No.
Anyway, we're fucking getting off topic.
But just back on like the new album. It doesn't really do a lot for me. I think he's put it out to say that he's still here, like Rob Zombie's movies. In between his House of the Thousand Corpse trilogy, everything he'd done in between that was say, "I'm still making movies." And then was it Educated Horses? Was that one of his albums?
Yeah, one of them.
Yep, that was there to say, I'm making movies, but I'm still doing music. I'm still here doing music.
I'm pretty sure Educated Horses was the one that's pretty much he took a break from music altogether to focus on movies, and then that was his way to come back and go, all right, well, I am still here.
Yeah, that's right. He's dipping his toe in the water.
Even seen him live. Like, I haven't personally seen him live, but seen videos of him live around that era. He couldn't even keep up on stage because he was that unstage fit, or whatever you want to call it.
Unconditioned.
Like, unconditioned for the stage, that he was like... and then having to take a break. It's like, fuck.
The guy needs some bacon in his life.
Needs some bacon.
Don't say it because he's vegan.
Hey, I'd give his fucking
wife
some bacon. I'd give her a porkin' for sure.
Nah. But that's what I'm just saying. Like, it's some of these older acts that have been around for years and years and years. They're doing enough to stay relevant in the industry, but they're not doing enough to. I'm not going to see Manson anytime soon. Let's just put it that way.
If he come back, like the only reason I went last time was because Brooke bought me and Matt a ticket.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't have to, but she thought, oh well, the boys will want to go to a gig.
Who did he tour with in the Eastern States? Not in the States, in the US. Was it Slipknot were doing tours?
No, him and Zombie done the
that's
Twins
right.
of Evil tour.
Yes.
Falling out.
And you see Manson on that stage, and he just looked like a fucking mess.
That's how he looked when he came to Perth, but he got worse every time, like to the point where he didn't have any fucking energy. He couldn't be bothered. He was just like.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I can understand why Zombie got pissed off at him, and then he said, "Oh, I got food poisoning or some shit, can't play or whatever it was." And he was calling out Zombie on stage or some shit. I don't know. It's a long time ago now. I can't remember.
So I feel bad because Zombie always seems to put on a good show.
Well, a mate of mine went and saw him at, I think it was Soundwave, and he said all Zombie done the whole time was bitch about how small the stage was and how shit it was.
Oh, really?
Which was disappointing to hear, but I mean, I didn't go, so I don't know Yeah, that's true. But the
Well,
bloke
you know,
who told me, I mean, I believe shit.
Rob
he
Zombie
says,
was
so.
supposed to be on the first Family Values tour, and the reason Ice Cube was on there was because he'd just done that song with Korn, and the Family Values tour was like a Korn's tour. They put it together, and the reason Zombie wasn't there is because the production of his stage show, was too fucking big.
It's fucking full on.
They weren't going to do it.
I mean, it's nothing the size of, say, someone like Rammstein.
No,
but it is big enough with all his TV screens,
props and everything.
Props, yeah.
Yeah, it's still big. Like I enjoy his music, and I still listen to Hellbilly Deluxe, and I do like Hellbilly Deluxe too. Sinister Urge. I'm not a fan of that Educated Horses. That's in the bin.
Honestly, that grew on me. I didn't like it at first. Any albums sort of after Sinister Urge, I wasn't a fan of. But
I tried numerous times.
Honestly, they grow on you.
No,
but it takes a lot.
I'm into all of his music except for that one album. Just can't do it. Like,
see, and the thing I found as well, that's when John 5 went from Manson to Zombie, and even that opening intro to that album is Manson all over.
Yeah,
like you can tell that. All right, that's the same.
He was still in Manson mode.
He was in Manson mode. But unfortunately, the album in a sense was a flop. Like it just wasn't.
It wasn't zombie enough.
That comes back to, I think that comes back to us still doing the whole get off my grass shit, where it's like we're used to the old shit that we grew up listening to, but it's the same with all the shit because we still fucking love the old shit. We're always going to support the old shit. It just is what it is.
No, like as I said, like I like all of Rob Zombie's music. I haven't listened to a lot of White Zombie from back in his day, but like Hellbilly Deluxe, Sinister Urge, Hellbilly 2, The Venomous Rat, and The Electric Warlock. I like all of those albums, all 5 of them. But you put that 6th one in there, his third solo, which is the Educated Horses. I just can't do it.
Try it like this then. You know how I said about Korn and that, where I didn't like a lot of their later shit. Pretty much anything since Untouchables, I think it was.
Yeah.
Which even Untouchables I wasn't the biggest fan of. But when I had that on shuffle, and you know, like some of that Korn shit that if I had to listen to it back to back, I couldn't listen to. I found enjoyable because a random song would come on and be like, oh, this is shit, but it's all right. Then a song I liked would come on. Try doing that with Zombie and see if you
could
like
do
Educated Horses better. But I mean, like,
it's
not the best album in the world. Honestly,
no, it's not.
But like I said, it does grow on you because I fucking hated it when I first heard it.
See, with all
it grows on you.
With all the Korn stuff, I liked pretty much everything up to Untouchables. I still listen to that album now. What came after that? Take a Look in the Mirror, and then See You on the Other Side, I think.
Something like that, yeah. I don't
So
know.
there's a few songs on there. It's got a different tone on it. Whole album.
What was their fucking Skrillex album? Did they have something with a whole
Yeah,
thing?
they did. They did a
that
did
was
a dubstep
before
album.
before Head came back.
Oh yeah.
Well before that.
Yeah, I don't think Head would have allowed that to happen.
See, I was going to buy Head's book and have a read, but it's all about him getting saved by God. Do you believe in God? I believe.
Drug addicts can claim what they want. Whatever keeps them off the shit, to be honest. So yeah, they came out with Untouchables, Take a Look in the Mirror, See You on the Other Side. Their Untitled album was fucking weird. They didn't even have a drummer. They were using like 3 or 4 different drummers to get through that.
I thought, was that Ray Cunt not with him at that stage?
Nah, Terry Bozzio was doing. He drummed on that Evolution song, the I think the one single.
Evolution.
Yeah. So he drummed on that. But they just had Terry Bozzio, Brooks Wackerman, and Zach Bard, I think is his name.
Was Zach Bard playing guitar?
Yeah, probably backup or doing something in the background.
I think even he used to play side of stage for him. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
But that's when they went weird. They had a lot of extra stage people. I think it was their Skrillex album.
I just got a boom da dum name up. I just had to get that out because I just. You know.
Oh shit! Was there? I think Path of Totality. I think. Yeah, because it's got a picture of fucking Skrillex here.
I was taking the piss when I said Skrillex. Is Skrillex
No. Jonathan Davis was like, as soon as Skrillex came out, was doing that bangarang from Hook movie. He made it a song, and then all he does is just sit here and smoke cigarettes and just clicks on his fucking keyboard to make a song. It's fucking kills me that people are making money just from
The worst thing is
pressing
though,
the F key on their keyboard.
Look at how good they're doing.
No, it's just because people are fucking suckers and they literally chew up anything you throw at them these days.
Well, you look at, there's so many fucking bands out there that fucking work their ass off. They do what they do. They spend years mastering their instrument.
And they get nothing.
They fucking do killer songs. No one appreciates it. One dude comes up and goes,
Yeah, and doesn't do a fucking
and
thing.
they go buy themselves a mansion.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what the
That
fuck?
kills me. And Jonathan Davis was so happy with dubstep and drum and
Isn't he
bass.
doing
and
that still now? J Devil?
yeah, probably. So he came out with a Korn album like that, which just
But say, for example, why wouldn't someone like Monkey turn around and go, John, dude, you know, like, cool that you're into this shit, but it's not for us.
dollars. Skrillex, the dude was making millions of dollars off like 2 or 3 tracks that he put out. Korn, who was sort of up here and now, they're kind of doing this. Here's Skrillex, oh, let's do that. That's what happened. I guarantee it was money. No heavy metal musician who takes themselves seriously, who has been doing what they do for 20 plus years, is you're just going to turn around and do a dubstep album for the fuck of it and think it's going to work. They either genuinely just didn't give a shit, or they thought they were going to get millions and millions of dollars out of it.
Which they might have done. They might have all went.
And that's what I mean. That
Who
there's
fucking
no,
knows?
there is no other motivation to do that. Fucking kills me. Skrillex was a producer.
There you go. You know what producing
I don't even know what a Skrillex is.
Some dude with glasses and a
Yeah,
bad
but-
haircut.
Yeah, look at him, fucking weirdo. Can't even look at him. Or it. Him, I don't know. It could be non-binary these days.
Oh no, mate. Well, should we wrap it up there? Because we've got
Yeah.
well off fucking topic. The whole point of this, we're going to chat about Manson, but I think that
It just
big ass
went off a
fade kinda
tangent.
fucked us big time.
Well, we did chat about Manson. His album wasn't that great,
it wasn't.
and we touched on other artists who have done similar,
Yes,
who didn't have to, who could have just waited an extra year and put out a killer album anyway.
but that's the thing. A lot of people aren't anymore. But
Rob Zombie. Educated horses didn't have to happen.
who knows? Maybe his wife
No,
wanted
that's fine.
another cabbage farm.
Uh,
He needed
no,
money
it's
somehow.
fine. Love his music. Love his music.
Love you a long time.
Oh man! All right, we'll call it a day.
All right. So thank you for anyone that got through it. I know we're not as much of energy as we usually would be, but we'd like to thank our.
I think I was
our
actually
mate,
doing
the
pretty
Burger
good.
Freak, for that.
I was more energy than usual. I'm usually just sitting.
I
back
wasn't.
here.
I was just like that burger fucked me, and the fried chicken. Oh, that was lovely.
No, I'm usually back here just staying out the fucking way.
Staying out the way.
Not really
staying
saying
out
too
the camera
much.
angle. Fucking.
Not saying too much.
But yes. Well,
All
once again, thank you everyone.
Like, subscribe, share, tell your mates, spread the word. Just like the 80s when people were trying to get their heavy
spread the
metal band
word,
out.
spread the
Like,
legs.
obviously you're not going to record this to a tape and send it overseas to a pen pal. But if you've got an email pen pal, key pal, send them the link.
All right, thanks everyone. We'll catch you in the next one with more energy. Energy. Oh, that's some flash shit.